Crawfish is one of the biggest seafood commodities in South Louisiana. For local residents, springtime means crawfish season. Although farmers in Vermilion Parish have been in full swing since mid-November, it wasn't until the end of January that the season really got rolling. The late start for crawfish season can be blamed on two factors: the long, very cold winter and the lack of rain in the last 6 months. David LaCour has farmed rice, soybeans, and crawfish in southern Vermilion Parish for the last 33 years. Each season, he farms over 200 acres of crawfish, supplying to local distributors. LaCour says that while the season did get off to a slow start, he hasn't experienced a severe lack of supply. However, even though the supply is there, the size of the crawfish has been the talk of the season thus far.
2010-2011 crawfish season got off to a very slow start due to a lot of cold weather, and even whenever the catch did come in, the size was reduced. We had a lot of small crawfish, and I think another big factor in the reduced crawfish season this year is a lot of dry weather during the fall season, which kept the crawfish contained in their burrows, and they couldn't escape to get out into the ponds.
Even though the catch has improved, LaCour knows other farmers aren't quite as lucky.
And a lot of areas other than ours are only performing at 50 or 60% of normal.
With crawfish basically non-existent in the Atchafalaya Basin this season, Vermilion farmers and distributors are taking advantage of the extra business. Although the size of the crawfish is small, the quantity has been enough to meet the season's demand.
Regarding production of crawfish, 2010-2011 season was a good season for me. Actually, I had a little more volume than normal. Now, I did notice that there was a decline in the graded crawfish. The bigger crawfish were a little shorter than normal in percentages.
Benoit says the lack of crawfish in the basin has helped local farmers to have a better season than they initially thought.
There was no Atchafalaya Basin, which made crawfish seem a lot shorter than they were, just because all the pond crawfish got consumed with normally people would eat basin crawfish.
While LaCour and Benoit are pleased with the season thus far, some local restaurants can't say the same. Many restaurants pride themselves on serving only the highest quality product, meaning the big ones. With the size of crawfish being so much smaller this season, business was tougher than normal.
So we're normally open at the beginning of crawfish season, which is in November-ish, and we're open Tuesday through Saturday. So 5 days a week, 5 hours a day is the normal hours of operation. This year with the long winter, we were actually not even able to start opening until January, so the whole month of November we lost. Even then, when we opened in January, we were only able to open 2 days a week, just the Fridays and Saturdays on the weekends. So the amount of crawfish that we had really only lasted those 2 days per week, and that probably went on for almost 2 months throughout the duration of January and February. And then in March we started opening about 5 days a week, so we lost out on quite a bit of sales.
For a restaurant like Cajun Claws, smaller crawfish is bad news. Even after being able to finally open full-time in March, Schultz says that filling the demand with only the biggest crawfish is next to impossible, especially during the Lenten season. Cajun Claws has had to start serving mixed crawfish by the end of business hours because the large ones are so low in number.
On a Friday during Lent. This year I had to turn people down because we didn't have enough crawfish.
Schultz continues to remain optimistic about this crawfish season and can only hope the conditions are more favorable next year. The 2010-2011 crawfish season was slow to start, but for farmers and distributors in Vermilion Parish, it has been a good one. While the catch and the demand for crawfish have been high, this season gives a new meaning to the phrase, size matters.